The intention behind this session is to try and generate a little bit of body awareness. In the long run, the movements today will be put together into a shorter section of other workouts. Since we're all, well, in theory, trying to work out in a confined space, this is designed in order to activate the muscles, get things going a little bit before doing slightly more complicated movements. This is not a HIIT workout, so it's not high intensity. It's about coming into the body, thinking about what it does, as opposed to being a really difficult workout effort-wise. It does require a little bit of balance. So if, like me, you don't have great balance, you may want to opt for a broom or a chair, because some of the movements that we're going to be doing today are single leg. And arguably using the chair or the broom is better, because it means you can focus more on the exercise itself than on focusing on balance. The argument for not using the tools to stabilize is that you require more of the body to balance yourself, essentially. So I'm going to choose not to use one of those today. I will probably do some of the workouts some of the time with it, some of them without. Maybe I'll grab it every once in a while just to demonstrate. But like I'm saying, pros and cons. If, like me, you don't have great balance, the workout in theory will make it better. But if you don't trust your balance, then one of these balancing tools will help. Even like a large umbrella would probably do the trick. And like I'm saying, both have pros and cons. We are going to be using what's called a peak contraction. So we're going to identify what a muscle does, where it is first of all, what it does, fire it up a little bit, and then try to squeeze it as tight as we can. That's the peak contraction. Try to generate maximum awareness. So today we're going to start with calves, right? The calves. So again, just touching them already is providing a little bit of sensory feedback, already giving me a little bit more awareness of my body. What is it the calves do? They push the forefoot into the floor and elevate the heels. Okay, hence elevating my body. Okay, and nice and slow all the way back down. Click. So you hear my ankle click, and you're going to hear quite a few clicks probably today. I have a lot of injuries, a lot of slightly dodgy joints, and none of them, just so you know, from exercise like this, all comes from, well, the vast majority from extreme sports. Yep, so we're just going up and down on the calves. It's not really quite going for a peak contraction yet. Okay, so let's try that again. So what is it the calves do? They push the heel up. We're now going to try and go through a peak contraction. So I can really feel the calf already from the other stuff that I've been doing. Okay, so I'm becoming slightly unstable. Right, and now I'm going to try and really squeeze the calf as tight as I can. Definitely helps to generate more awareness of the muscle. And then it's nice and slow on the way down. Click. There you go. That's the good ankle. I don't know why that one clicks. Okay, so just a couple more to up onto the calves. We're going to keep coming back to these movements. We're just going to go section by section. Okay, squeeze, 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 squeeze. And then nice and slow. Okay, that was a little bit rushed actually. Right, so next one, hamstrings. Right, so what is it that hamstrings do? One of the things that hamstrings do is they pull the bottom section of the leg towards the hips. We're just trying to fire it up. This is the muscle with the sensory feedback. Yeah. We're going to try and squeeze now. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. More. And squeeze. Other side of the hamstring again, just a bit of sensory feedback, just to get things going. So what you may find, or I certainly find, is that I have a better relationship with one side of is this like left and right-handedness. In this case, I just don't feel my left hamstring as much as I feel the right. Okay, just gonna squeeze. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Really I can feel that hamstring. Not feeling it as much as I'd like, but we are gonna keep going back to this. Okay, so I'm just going to show you how you would use the broom or the chair. So next section we're going to do quad. Okay, so this group of muscle here, the quadriceps, what is it that the quads do? If the hamstring does this, leg flexion, what the quad does is leg extension, it straightens it. So we're just going to straighten it and squeeze. So a bit of sensory feedback, just trying to squeeze these muscles here. Okay, so hamstring again, quad, hamstring again, quad. So I've run through this routine a couple times just to test it out. Each time I do it, I feel a little bit more awareness, really trying to squeeze, 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 squeeze. So if you're not really feeling it straight away, don't worry about it. To the side. Because this is about trying to generate awareness on the assumption that there's a lack of awareness. And that comes a lot from lack of movement, lack of exercise. So again, feedback, squeeze. And we are going to put these movements together into a circuit further down the line. So if we go back to the beginning, so we keep going to go back just to keep things fresh. Calves, right? Elevation, peak contraction. Yeah, definitely feeling the calves more than at the very beginning already. Then I'm going to do hamstring, squeeze. And the same leg, quad, squeeze, feedback. So out of all these so far, I feel the quad the least. Maybe that will increase as the session goes on. Hamstring, squeeze. Definitely feeling that more and more in the hamstring. Definitely feeling this one as well, which really wasn't in tune with the very beginning. And then the quad again. Squeeze. So again, with all these, we're trying to think about not what the exercise looks like, what does it feel like? What does this section of the body do? What does it feel like? Already to me, hopefully you feel something similar, you may not yet, is I can just feel the lower bits of my body a little bit more already. Okay, so next bit, glutes. Okay, glutes are responsible for hip extension. That. Great for sensory feedback. Are they up and firing? Could be better, to be fair. Okay, just go back. Just go forward. You may find, hopefully, especially if you start aiming for the peak contraction, so really going to try to squeeze my glutes as much as I can. So I'm really trying to think about these muscles here and really trying to tighten them. Maybe after the fourth, fifth, maybe sixth one, maybe you can squeeze them a little bit tighter. And that is what we're really trying to aim for. So I can definitely start to feel them a little bit more. Glutes in particular suffer from sitting. Something that's called glute amnesia. The glutes forget what they're supposed to do. Okay, let's go for a couple more. And really, what is it that glutes do? So you can shut your eyes to this, really try to think about the glute muscles, squeezing them tight. Yep, maybe that makes feel one more than the other. If you do that, try to feel when you don't feel as much more, maybe try to put a little bit more focus into squeezing that one. Okay. Back to the start. So, calves. Yeah. Trying to be in the body, feeling the calves. Yes. Squeeze. Nice and slow. Ooh. Unstable. Told you it happened. Not the end of the world. Or maybe it is with the coronavirus. Actually, I didn't mean that. Okay, so I'm gonna start again. Sorry. Calves. Deep contraction. Nice and slow. Click. That's the good ankle. Why does that one click? I'm not really sure. Calf. Hamstring, I mean. Distracted myself with this end of the world talk. Okay. Quad. Squeeze, bit of sensory feedback. Hamstring. Quad. So always trying to get this peak contraction, trying to get the awareness. Okay. And then glutes. The same thing. Squeeze. Yeah, definitely feel it a little bit more. Next bit, the obliques. So these are kind of going to be working simultaneously, one a little bit more than the other. One of the things that the obliques are responsible for is dynamic movement. So what we're trying to do is keep our hips fairly straight, so we're not trying to push the hips out so much. They just kind of sit straight. And I'm just bringing one side to the other. And so this one is now the one that's really going to fire to pull me over. Yeah. And now this one is the one that's firing more to stop me from completely falling over. So, but the peak contraction really is on this side now. So I'm really trying to generate a squeeze here. And here. Tight, tight, tight. Yes. Okay, so again, just really trying to squeeze these muscles. Hopefully get the sensory feedback from your hands. Right. Calves. Yep. Squeeze. Nice and slow, so try to keep that tension in there. Yeah. I'm going to do the other hamstring to begin with this time, just varying leading sides. Hamstring, squeeze, back. Definitely feel a little bit more there compared to the beginning. Quad, squeeze. Yeah. So quad's still the least probably for me, so it's going to be different for different people. Maybe you feel it in the quads a lot. I don't. This is definitely the one where I'm not feeling it as much. Hamstring. Definitely feel it in the hamstring. There's no right and wrong whether you feel it more in the quad or the hamstring, the glute or the calf or whatever. It's just different people feel it in different places. More or less quad. So I guess my aspiration would be then over the next couple times that I do this, to try and feel it more in my quads. Because that's where I'm not feeling it in particular compared to everywhere else. And glutes. Squeeze. So my glutes definitely feel tighter than from the very first time I did it, especially if I really go for that peak contraction. Obliques. Yeah, really trying to squeeze in there. So you're trying to keep your tummy in as well at the same time that you're doing this. You don't want it to dome out. So it's yeah. Probably not feeling this one quite as much as some of the others as well. Then the arms. Okay, bit of sensory feedback. We're going to feel the bicep. So what does the bicep do? Bicep brings the forearm towards the shoulder. Okay, so we're just going to move it a couple times. Okay, creating a fist can create a little bit more tension on the bicep. Rotating the fist as well changes the way the bicep contracts. Okay, and then going for a peak contraction, so really going to try and feel the bicep, squeeze it, squeeze it, squeeze it, squeeze it, squeeze it. I'm feeling it a lot, to be honest. A little bit more. Okay, so try to squeeze the bicep, sensory feedback. Bicep does this as well. Yeah. I'm starting to feel that. Okay. Most of us have a fairly good relationship with our biceps. Not guaranteed, it's all individual. Okay, other side. So, according to my physio, I have a slip disc in my neck, well, at least one, according to him. So I don't have great control over my left arm, because the nerves are slightly they're squeezed or they're damaged. He's not really sure. He just says, oh, it's just wear and tear. You just won't be able to use your left arm as well. Great. But stuff like this should help also to get those neural connections firing a little bit better. Squeeze, squeeze. Again, wrist rotation is going to fire the muscle differently. Tricep. So what does the tricep do? It extends the arm. Bicep flexes it. Extension. This is the tricep. Okay, just firing up. Peak contraction. It's alright. I definitely feel like this could be better as well for me. But that's the point of this. It's trying to come back into the body, feel the different sections. One of the things that you can do, haven't done it so far, is pump the muscle or pulse it, where you just make a small movement out of the peak and you squeeze it like that. That can really help. That can help with all of them actually. Okay, let's put it inside. Surprisingly, not sure what my physio would say about this, is that the connection with my left tricep is better than with my right one. Okay, so just using them together then. Bicep squeeze, tricep squeeze, bicep squeeze, tricep squeeze, bicep squeeze, tricep squeeze, bicep squeeze, tricep squeeze. Peak contraction, really trying to squeeze, maybe focus left to right, left squeeze, right squeeze, left squeeze, really trying to get that peak. Okay, and then going for the triceps. Hands can be relaxed in this, or clenched. And try to get that peak contraction there. Okay, so just going to go through from the bottom up again. So this will start to make more sense. In future workouts, it's not going to be we're doing this sequence. The work will be more starting straight away into this, getting the peak, going into the hamstring, squeeze, going into the quad, squeeze, right into the hamstring, other side, squeeze, into the quad, squeeze, and into the glutes, squeeze. So I'm definitely feeling my hamstrings a little bit more, definitely the glutes a little bit more. Peak, squeeze, squeeze, yep, squeeze, and squeeze. Okay, and the last section in this is we're going to bring the chest and some of the back into it. So for what the chest does, what the pec muscles do, is that they bring these muscles in like that. Okay, so you should feel if you bring your arm over, this muscle here is contracting. So what we're going to do for the chest, actually slightly different to the other movements that we've been doing. We're going to go for an isometric hold. So with this is we're going to try to push our hands together, but try to push from here. So hopefully, as you push your hands together, it could be a little bit lower, a little bit higher. It just addresses the pec muscles slightly differently. Hopefully you can start to feel these muscles Yeah, and as you might be able to push your arms slightly further forward. So you're really trying to squeeze these muscles here. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And the last bit, really, really important one actually, is we're going to be using bits of the middle upper back in order to retract the shoulders. So think about the muscles here, the rhomboids, definitely going to be involved, the lats are going to be a little bit involved as well. What we're looking for is taking the shoulders back and down a little bit, and then trying to squeeze the middle of the back. So what we want to avoid with this is a couple of things where this one can go wrong. Is you want to make sure that you don't end up sticking your head out and forward, because then you're thinking head relative to your shoulders. Or a lot of people do this. I definitely have a history of doing this, is using the traps instead. So it's really important that shoulders stay down, and we squeeze the back. I've just stuck my chest out a little bit too much there, probably. Okay, so trying to be in the muscles of the back, really opening up the chest. So chest tends to tighten when we're stressed, when we're sat. So this movement of really opening up the chest, with really engaging the back muscles is really, really, really important. Trying to get that peak contraction, really trying to bring the shoulders back as far as they will go. You may feel a stretch sensation here, nothing wrong with that, good, arguably. And then let's bring it back into the chest, so squeeze. And into the back. Okay, so this is how ideally this will look in the future. This is just an introduction to these different movements. Ideally, it just will start, probably won't be peak contractions straight away, but since we're really warmed up with this, we can go for it. We're going to go into the calves. Okay. Again, think about what are the calves doing? Can I feel my calves? Can I get this peak contraction into them? Yes, hopefully. Definitely feeling my calves for sure. Nice and slow on the way down. Click. Hamstring. Squeeze. Quad. Squeeze. So same as all these other ones, trying to think about awareness. What does the muscle do? For the side, hamstring, 3 feet back, always good. Yeah, feel it, squeeze, peak contraction, a bit more, peak, squeeze, yeah. Quad, yeah, I'm trying to get that. Oh, it's a little bit better. Yeah, definitely a little bit better than it was before. So hopefully running through this a couple times, not just today, but in the future, this awareness will start to increase. Glutes. Okay, let's go back. Just go forward. Yeah. Peak. Yes. Good. Definitely better as well. Oblique. Yeah. Oblique. Yeah. Bicep. Squeeze. Squeeze. Tricep. Squeeze. Chest. Squeeze. Definitely feel my chest a little bit more. And the last one, shoulders back and down. Really trying to open up. And again, feeling the muscles in the back. And that's it. So hopefully, I definitely feel a little bit more in my body right now. I'm going to practice this, and this is going to be the foundation of working out in a confined space.